lawlessness and how people assume that
anything
Alpha and Omega. You know, have you forgotten that transient? And obviously, what bent you know, unko be man. You know,
4 year term.
Yeah, we cannot do that at the expense of Ghanaians.
Yeah,
I am running and a certain posture be politicians ninya so munya to me. It's so sad. Also, the major challenge that is facing us as a country is the mental orientation, is the lack of principle, and the issue of say, a country of rule of law. Maybe this rule of law, yeah, can't say acting based on emotions and you know, you do me, I do you. All these while, that's what we've been doing. The last time I was here, that was Monday. The bigger challenge that we face as a country, you know, who to start with, you know, and our problem is here. Obianya na this Obama clean sheet has started saying this country needs to be disciplined. This country needs to be principled, and then a certain orientation. The necessary orientation now. Likewise, when there is power changer, the actions and inactions of some of the people is so much across the world.
And sometimes you wonder, say, for some of these supporters, say part in a crafted campaign messaging now, do they understand? It is resetting Ghana. Do they understand what it means by reset? And do some of
with
these
the old things that we have done as a country
unbelievable.
And achieve the results that we are this thing now. What you are telling us is that it's the same old. Because you don't have any locals until say a bit to me, the system is already running.
Yes.
You still have that legitimate point as a citizen to do appropriate reportage to people that you think that can control the system. So Ghana is not for you.
It one who say you suspect a crime, you report to the police.
Simple.
And being a national organizer of a party,
simple.
The responsibility on you is onerous. You cannot do the OBIA.
Simple.
How do you enter the National Assay Center and think say a Juma because you can put it to a halt? I mean, are you crazy?
And we're all looking on. And this morning, not lawyer Chum and Kukufu, I asked them same questions. They said, Mom, you're careful. Now you pretend to say all is well, and that is how we want to go. And I pity the young guys no more, both political parties now. Almost say, you are a joke. It will catch you up soon. No experience or exposed politician and misbehave. Well, he's been there before. He knows the in and out of power.
And for Yamin, who has been a minister of state before, a minister of state.
When people move into action, and because Makande Biasa Makaubi, Yenginano, Yasusoso, Yenginana principle, Yenginadiansa share a vigilantism kratasi. And what are we witnessing? Everybody is saying that this is the norm. So are you saying that the next 4 years election, if we said the other side of the divide, no more, so you need to electoral commission for no more declare a result. They will say we are going into a ditch. We are going into a ditch. And even our president, who is your flag bearer, is saying that the task ahead is enormous. No matter what. My biggest priority I hear mo pan say obi biara wa for o manager padi ananisika akoshe baby biano. And fantastic, the president has led it by putting a team together. What is your problem? Any suspicion that you have, any evidence that you have,
you
just put it up
to the team.
Because if you start on this note today,
and you
now what time who for not to the Bema, and then there will be some another also
and I think we should be bold and say some of it. It is not good.
It's not good for the country.
Papa, if you plan on doing that, if you're already doing that, stop. And the papa.
It's not good.
Omanhene statement we. The Precious Minerals Marketing Company, which by law acts as the national assayer, has noted with deep concern an incident that occurred at the National Assay Center located at the Aviance Cargo Terminal, where a mob led by a gentleman who identified himself as Mr. Joseph Yamin, the national organizer of the NDC, forcibly attempted to seize bullion bars being processed by PMMC for the Central Bank of Ghana. The incident occurred on Tuesday, 17 December, between the hours of 4 p.m. lasting till about 12 midnight.
How? And why? Why? It's a dynamic. The security system itself. I'm surprised. Such an area, no. Obiat minya access to such an area.
The National Assay Center.
Why? It is how omo picky. Say police intervention, whatever intervention. Maybe who's going to be held accountable? So only panukre pe boni dia. We have the intelligence society there. Yes. We have the police service there. I'll bet me draw my attention to barricade and make sure that the whole cannot say why are we doing this? Because what? We have power. That's not the way to go. Because if we are going to repeat the mistakes this administration has repeated, well, fine. That's fine, because it is also serving as a reminder to Ghanaians that now we are beginning to feel that Duka Diana. The same old now. We can't progress in this country with this attitude. Who on 120-day plan? Within that plan, more emphatic that any looted whatever piano, recover all those things. Why are we doing this? Why?
And why? People are alleged to have been at the airport seizing for passport.
Why? It's so funny.
Under what authority? In a democratic country?
It's so funny.
Wow.
Why are we doing this? Why? I know I mean you
yes.
Or show me or to tell me nampasa or force. Or say me my friend me pebi crafa. Likewise with narcissists.
Of course.
This is the way we have to do. Because
the beauty of
because if you don't do it like that, beyond that, what can you do? Beyond that, what can you do? And then I make a Kokofu. When it turned, Dr. Kokofu. I found Kokofu questions are being busan any responses or the bar. That's exactly what you were doing. Until we get to a point where we all agree that enough of all these things that has happened. In fact, what is so good is that Abaya when she shame, Osusu say Abaya obey, when she shame, Osusu say, and you may be a Akoswa, Uncle Ye, I was up by way, when she shame. Well, listen to no or listening to Ayawas West, or listening to so clearly, so we are real Ghanaian. Now say NDC near. You know for sure that this government is not going to allow certain impunities
to happen
and to go scot-free.
They should also allow the system to run properly. But the point is, if Udi Tumi without a court making an order, because who are renew be before court. Now court ni fix any pani a flight risk into obe season a passport. Obe season passport ni pani to mean to coin. You don't need brute force to go and stand at the airport and assault people and all of that. Say, oh, kwajenko for passport free omunsem. If you suspect, say, at the National Assay Center, bibi koso ye illegal, for the gold be for baby enya. There are agencies of state who are mandated to deal with that. Say gold, gold. Under what authority? Because you're a national organizer of a party that has won elections.
You don't have any locus.
Why should we allow some of these things? You don't have any locus. I think the system should be made to run. And it will take us to the next way about statement of Felix Kwachofosu issue here. A good start. I mean, people can have their disagreement as to the makeup of that committee, under what authority has that committee been put together, legal backing being a committee in a war, or more terms of reference a day, under what power and authority no more juma. Of course, you can say some kind of a fact-finding committee.
Yes. Okay, the party NDC believes that amount for what dance ye be brave or honma.
Yes.
On bet me dia boom, no be come attorney general of justice.
Yes.
No team there 2 and more court. It is the party, you know, to me.
Yes.
A party decision that Mumway.
Yes. Gather evidence as much as possible.
Attorney general minister of justice. No even go to send Libya.
Yes.
Nay, has a answer now with the brain. Yes. Just Eddie Boko do.
Yes.
I don't
people should even understand, sir. And I've seen Amanfo, because of the names on the committee, you know, Amanfo are excited and all. But mind you, sir, the committee is not a court of law. Omajuma is to gather evidence as much as possible.
Exactly.
Hand that evidence over to the future Attorney General and the office, the Special Prosecutor of the Republic of Ghana. Omune betimi aye further nhwehwemu no ma prosecute if necessary. Enti Amanfo enya botre. This committee is more of a fact-finding committee. Oh, evidence beer. You know them. Send it to them. Among other, say Edwin Tamaklo be Attorney General. Say Dominic Ayeni be Attorney General. Once he seized with the evidence, on bet me assess. No, so okay, when you the court, where the court any, and people should also be a bit modest in their expectations.
Of course,
one thing. Throwing allegations about and one thing securing conviction in the court of law.
That's what we are not principled as Ghanaians and as politicians. This administration
yes. Yes.
Opposition as to the corruptible acts and behaviors of members of the previous administration.
Yes.
8 years in
Yes. Yes.
So people should not even jump into that simple conclusion there. And any mother say chirobi out there dance here more convincing
yes.
Because the mum say nye de motiti wa bontin nye de mu hu ye no that's it obi anye din bibia be hihye pepepe.
Things will fall in place. The chips will fall.
So I have a difficulty why people are in such a rush. I have a difficulty. And again, Maka, we are still doing this. You cannot develop a country by intimidating or insulting to get the result that you want. It's not possible. You can't develop a country to that extent.
Yes.
You can't.
Yes.
You develop a country where rule of law, where fairness, where impunity, cut off.
Yes.
Where the law continues to be no respecter of assumacy and also maintain.
Sure.
Where you will not assume that because you have power, like what some people did in this administration, you are the alpha and the omega. Why? Who Ghana mobo kakra? Only in this country, and when you vote people into power, instead of them to serve you, you become their servant.
Their servant.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
We can't get the change that we're looking for. There are a lot of things that goes into that basket of change. I shall say with me, I shall say with what the Ebeyan so more to me at baby no. Almost be effective in terms of their policies, in terms of directions, any do welfare. But you see the same old things now all these years and believe that you better change be a and believe that 24-hour economy no ebeye juma Brian Sesa and believe that the national apprentices no ebeye juma bra on Sesa what you can't do the same thing.
Raksoma ye post be me husana amanfo bebe na etwetwe no say resetting Ghana also means changing our mindset.
But that has been basic core.
Yes.
And I know Monday repeat no president. And all ban it in policy. It's not done. The person will not even get there. I mean, one can say, Director General, Chief Executive, Minister, say. No young Kasa, young businessman. The businessman organ out of Donald Dodge at Toy. Businessmen all Ghana and Mukunaivo with customs for Professor Most to extend our port. It tells you that the corruption system in this country, it didn't just start today. Systemic. We need to find a long-lasting approach, a best solve at least a reasonable percentage for us. But the kind of things that we are doing, you do me, I do you. There for the cameras situation where even now public servants and civil servants, no, the total disrespect they are giving to their authorities who are exiting. Why? There's nothing going on at our public space again. When you go to our public services, there's absolutely nothing happening there. Who told you that? Who told you that? Discipline and casa break it down in this country. And at the end, then we are going to call for national dialogue on how best we can help solve these things.
For more Monte, the statement is that preparatory team towards President-elect anti-corruption drive. It's a statement issued today, December 18th, 2024, as a preparatory measure towards the rollout of His Excellency John Dramani Mahame's promise to recover proceeds of corruption and hold persons responsible for such corruption accountable when he assumes office. A team has been set up to receive and gather information from members of the public and other sources on suspected acts of corruption. The team comprises the following individuals. 1. Honorable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, Honorary Chairman. Mr. Daniel Domelovo, former Auditor General. COP retired Nathaniel Kofi Boache. Mr. Martin Bebu, private legal practitioner. And Mr. Raymond Archer, investigative journalist. Anti-corruption with Operation Recover All Loot as a major plank formed a core part of His Excellency John Mahame's policy platform in the 2024 campaign, and he intends to hit the ground running on these commitments. Signed, Felix Kwachiofosu, only a spokesperson for the Mahama transition team. We are working the lines. There are some few questions. The terms of reference for this committee. So where would you get to see them? Who would be funding the activity? And I think one of the questions the current majority leader Alexander Kwame Afenyomakina raised, say, who would be funding this committee?
Party no omoni so ade hu se omo pese omo boa no omo ji aban japade akodi baabi ni kwase ko aban sika akose baabi ni kwase ko. Party nankasa has a certain responsibility to sacrifice its time and money.
Okay.
Because how dance evidence omo boa no nyina no se me kura me ntimi fa so mesia no benten kokko.
Sure.
Minister ahode nya okika this it can kura. But the party na boa no wie na se the wase kan say
OSPO
eduji say ayenene o say ayi hwan o won ne betimi agina o their team of creme de la creme aka say well mo di abade bandami anim ne we we to nsenya o ko pimo kwa ni fifo timi ahayo we dey o de code a ye betimi apima kwa even though ye nsu ye we betimi apima kwa me do di be kwa me. It's too early for us to be area for no. I disagree. Because say a party for an sponsor because they have a special interest and because it's a word they give to Ghanaians. So they are telling Ghanaians that even before they take over, their preparation is so ready and prim and proper. Say now so no team no monko ye ho adwuma tempada we no am be distract your focus because ye onema bebreye Ghana for hwe anim say ye bema adwuma aba Omanhene Ghana for hwe anim say eto ahodo bi a dada no bi so ye share boss ye be yefo Ghana for hwe anim say ade ba ko adi enya ye dollar ho sensem ye be pria say dollar no e betima is Ghana for hwe anim say enyuma kase any other opportunities 24-hour economy ediba no say ediba. In fact, me try him say the broiler project will be revisited because a project bakwa na ebe buama Ghana for do na timenya fresh and cocoa at a cheaper price. It's ready.
So I'm not find expression in the cocoa kitchen.
Yeah, but I don't say I've been a part of that. It was really moving on smoothly until change by that broiler project because at that time now Hannah Bichu was deputy and was in charge. Dr. Louisa Bichu and was in charge of that project where no more introduced that 60-40 regime because the capacity was not there. It have been Akati farms, Infun farms, Dako farms, Jefam could China, Yemwan Jumana of Dako farms. yet me I export na Ghana for so DB ya boa Boris B.
Yes.
Boris B is na nkoko no odeba ene ho aduane nti ubehu no within 3 weeks or 4 weeks no say layer gina wa ojina ko bakase krokro no otito form and it was moving on. What was left was